The most unsettling band commercials. There we go.
If I'm 10 years old watching TV and this advert comes on, if I'm never watching TV again, that'll scare the shit out of me.
What? What the? I don't know what I just watched. I don't even have commentary for that. I just can't believe that's a real commercial.
This advert caused so much controversy because it created a craze in playgrounds in the UK.
That's genuinely scary. I can see why people said, yeah, that is distressing. I'm kind of distressed.
Oh, I want to see it.
Ads are meant to attract customers, but these ads did the opposite. They disturbed viewers so much the TV stations had to pull them off the air. These are commercials banned for being too disturbing. We won't just show you the footage, we'll uncover the backstories behind each one and save the worst for last. So it is almost the end of the year, guys, and my goal is still the same, to increase the number of videos I put out for you guys without sacrificing quality. So it would mean the world if you subscribe, and I promise to do my absolute best and make the best videos I can for you guys.
Let's see some disturbing footage.
The ad that was too weird to forget. In 1983, a company wanted to sell candy to kids. To do that, they created a commercial. The main character was someone every child already knew, Humpty Dumpty. But the version of Humpty Dumpty that appeared in that commercial wasn't cute. It looked like something straight out of a horror movie. The commercial was for a candy called
Wait, no. You can't be saying Humpty Dumpty then showing this. This will literally give you nightmares.
Out of a horror movie. The commercial was for a candy called Kinder Surprise.
Oh, I love Kinder Surprises. They got banned in the UK because kids was choking on them because for some weird reason, kids will try and eat it whole. Don't know how you was eating this whole, but they got banned.
Was an egg-shaped chocolate with a small toy hidden inside. The product wasn't new. Kids already loved it. To keep that success going, Kinder wanted to launch a new ad campaign. They also wanted a mascot children would recognize instantly. Humpty Dumpty was the obvious choice. He was famous, shaped like an egg, and loved by children all over the world. But there was one major issue. Kinder couldn't legally use Humpty Dumpty. Copyright laws blocked them from putting him in the commercial.
So they made an evil, messed up horror Humpty.
They needed to create their own version. It could look like Humpty Dumpty, but it needed a different name. So they invented the Eggman. He was supposed to be friendly, but he turned out super creepy. One person described him as a fleshy man egg with childlike features. The Eggman had tiny eyes and an insanely wide mouth. He spoke in a high, squeaky voice. The biggest problem...
Yo, that ain't no Humpty Dumpty, bro. What is that?
Problem was how real he looked. The Eggman wasn't animated like a cartoon. He was a hand-built puppet controlled by a professional puppeteer. He blinked, chewed, and moved like a real human, but with the body of an egg. The result was disturbing on so many levels. Despite that, Kinder decided to put him on television. The Kinder Surprise commercial aired in 1983. It began with the Eggman sitting on a wall. It was an obvious reference to Humpty Dumpty's nursery.
Yeah, bro, like we see Humpty Dumpty is like this. Like, we don't... what is this, bro? Like, looking at this, it don't make me go, oh, I'm hungry for a Kinder Surprise now. It goes, I'm sick. Turn off my fucking TV.
83. It began with the Eggman sitting on a wall. It was an obvious reference to Humpty Dumpty's nursery rhyme. Almost immediately, the Eggman started shouting nonsense words.
Yibbo shaky. Me unscrabbly. Shock-a-doobie!
He unwrapped the Kinder Surprise and found the toy inside. All this time, he was still speaking gibberish.
Yodel yum and choco scrum with multi-pump rubber dies! Oh, grubbly!
No, yo. Why do I feel like I'm being hypnotized? Bro, what? Like, yo, the Kinder Company, they turn over a lot of money. And this is the best they could do. Not one person said to them on their team that this is a bad idea. Like, yo, this is not a children's advert, bro.
And kept building. The Eggman waved his arms wildly. Then he lost his balance and fell backward off the wall. It was a direct nod to Humpty Dumpty's fall. The Kinder logo appeared. The commercial ended. It was meant to be silly and fun, but instead it came across as bizarre and unsettling. Not long after it aired, complaints started pouring in. Parents said their kids were terrified of the Eggman's creepy
I'm not surprised.
And it wasn't just a few kids, it was thousands. Eventually, TV stations had to act. After many complaints, networks stopped airing the ad. It was
like, yo, chat, as a kid, you get scared of things a lot more easy. Like, bro, when I watched Wizard of Oz, I was just scared of the witch. The green witch. that would go past the window, I was terrified. So you show me this goddamn creepy ass egg, I'm gonna be having nightmares. I'm genuinely gonna have nightmares, bro.
Unofficially banned. Eventually, Kinder decided to pull the commercial completely. By then, it already had a reputation as one of the creepiest candy ads ever made. But that wasn't the end of the story. Decades later, the footage resurfaced on YouTube. People couldn't believe it was real. Overnight, the Eggman became a meme. YouTubers created parody versions. Fans even tried to translate his gibberish.
Yodel yum and choco scrum with multi-pumps will die.
Wait, what's the translation?
Translate his gibberish.
Yodel.
Toy is not for ingestion. Plague of locusts will cleanse yodeling mools.
Yum and choco scrum with multi-pumps will die.
Deaf to some.
Translation was obviously fake, but it captured what everyone thought. The ad was absolutely weird.
I can't lie though, Kinder Chocolate is amazing. I do love Kinder Chocolate.
It tried to bury this ad. Didn't work. Decades later, it's still everywhere. Your personal information works the same way. Once it's out there online, it never really goes away on its own. A few years ago, someone dug up my old private data and a pathsafety.com person take sometimes seriously. The ad that disrespected families. Sometimes the best way to advertise a product is to show someone using it, but a Belgian company called Zazu couldn't do that because their product was a condom. Obviously, they
yeah, it's probably best not to show someone using it on TV. Okay, let's not do that.
They couldn't demonstrate that on TV. They needed another way to deliver their message, so they came up with a commercial that was meant to be funny, but the reaction wasn't what they expected.
Okay.
Instead of laughing, many viewers were offended. The commercial ended up being banned in multiple countries.
How do you get offended by a condom?
Here's what happened. The ad was released in 2004. It stood out right away. Most condom ads at the time focused on romance or disease prevention.
Right.
But Zazu went in a completely different direction. The ad opened inside a supermarket. The father was shopping with his young son. The boy slipped the bag of candy into the cart.
Wait, this is already bad. Why is a condom advert showing kids? That's already a red flag. That is already a red flag. Kids and condoms should not be in an advert. That's already a red flag.
Father removed it and put it back on the shelf. The boy frowned and tried again. Again, the father took it out. Realizing he wasn't getting the candy, the boy snapped. He starts having a...
this is gonna... It's showing a relationship, a bad relationship with a kid, and it's gonna go, you don't want to have a kid. Use a condom. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, terrible, terrible advert. Terrible advert. Terrible advert.
Full-blown temper tantrum. Other shoppers stared. The father looked embarrassed and defeated. Then 2 words appeared on the screen. Use condoms. It was short, shocking, and unforgettable. When the ad first aired in Belgium and France, people loved it. It was dark humor, but it was relatable. Once it reached English-speaking countries, the reaction changed. Critics said the message was inappropriate. They believed it mocked parenthood and portrayed children as a burden. Some labeled it disrespectful to families. Several broadcasters refused to air it. Before long, it was banned in several countries. But the controversy only made it more famous. People shared the ad on forums, blogs, and eventually YouTube. Many thought it was hilarious. It even won an award for its originality. Despite the backlash, Zazu's little boy commercial...
I can't lie, it is kind of funny. I can't lie. Like, it is kind of funny. But I understand how it's not a good idea to do. On TV. TV is different, you know what I mean? Like, everybody's watching it, like... It's probably bad for TV, but it is kind of funny, I'm not gonna lie.
Became a classic. This next ad shows how a joke becomes dangerous when people take it literally.
I think the Humpty Dumpty one is way worse than that one, though. The Humpty Dumpty one is so much worse than that one. Now, that one is just like kind of dark humor, right? You know what I mean?
The ad that hit too hard. In 1992, a TV commercial went viral in Britain. People couldn't stop talking about it. Many even called it one of the funniest ads ever made. But then, kids started reenacting the ad in real life, and within weeks, someone landed in the emergency room. Suddenly, people realized the ad wasn't just funny, it was dangerous. The story began with a drink called Tango Orange. It was basically orange soda, but the soda market was very competitive. Tango's biggest rival was Fanta. And Fanta was everywhere, on TV, in stores, and in almost every fridge. Tango needed something bold to grab attention, so they hired a top ad agency.
Okay.
At the time, most ads followed the same formula. A person used the product and suddenly everything in their life got better. Tango's team flipped that idea. They asked, what if drinking Tango didn't make you better? What if it shocked you literally? That became the concept. Tango's flavor was so intense that it hit you with an unforgettable punch. To bring that idea to life, the team created a strange new character. They named him the Orange Man. His job was simple: appear out of nowhere and slap the person drinking Tango. Before settling on the slap, they tested other ideas. Originally, the Orange Man was going to punch the drinker. That was rejected.
Wait. Am I hearing this right? Am I hearing this right? You're promoting your product by telling people that we're going to slap you if you drink our product. What kind of kink is this?
Rejected as too violent. Next, they tried having him kick the person from behind. That was rejected too. Finally, they decided on a slap. It was risky, it was different, and soon it would cause serious trouble. They filmed the commercial and put it on TV. It began with 3 young men standing outside a corner shop.
Okay.
One of them cracked open a can of Tango and took a sip.
Hello,
Now they get
Johnny.
slapped.
I think we might use a video replay here.
The video rewound like someone reviewing footage on tape. This time, viewers saw what really happened.
Oh, yes, we could be in for a quintessential Tango taste sensation here.
As soon as he took a sip, the Orange Man ran up and slapped him on both cheeks. The drinker was shocked. The voiceover called it super taste sensation. Then came the tagline.
Know where you've been.
Oh, no, I know where this is bad. Oh my God, I didn't even realize this. I get it, why it's so bad. Because now everybody's going to start the trend of slapping people that drink Tango. So like, let's say you're a kid and you've seen this advert and you see your mate drinking Tango. What are you going to do? You're going to fucking slap him. Oh my God. Oh yeah, who approved this one? Who approved this? and then that's good, bro. And then people just gonna stop drinking Tango because they're just getting slapped. Yeah, this is why Fanta defeated Tango. This is why they literally made an advert of their own company to not drink their own company. This is a terrible idea.
Tango.
The ad was an instant hit. You know when you've been tangoed became a national catchphrase. Adults quoted it at work. Kids repeated it on playgrounds. Tango's sales skyrocketed. At one point, Tango outsold Fanta by almost 2-1.
Oh my
they
God.
obliterated their biggest
worked.
rival. For the company, it was a massive win, but the win didn't last. Not long after the ad went viral,
Yeah, and everyone started getting slapped, right? Everyone started getting slapped.
teachers noticed something alarming. Kids were sneaking up behind classmates and slapping them on both cheeks. Then they would yell, "You've been tangoed." At first, schools thought it was harmless fun, but the Tango slap kept
Wait, what? Wait. If I slap someone in my school, I'm getting punished. What do you mean? What schools is looking at kids getting slapped to say that's harmless fun? What the fuck? What schools is that?
getting harder. One morning, Tango's advertising team got a call from the hospital.
Right.
The surgeon was on the line. He said, "I thought you'd like to know that I did an operation on a child this morning with a damaged eardrum." When I asked him what happened, he said, "I got tangoed." The company's joke finally caused a real injury. Tango executives were horrified. If word spread that their commercial was putting people in the hospital,
They got tangoed into surgery? Holy
it would destroy the brand. But it was too late. The story hit the news, and parents were furious. They accused Tango of glorifying violence. Schools across the UK started banning Tango from their premises.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I can see how catchy and how bad of an advert this is, because is anybody else wanting to tango someone right now? Like, next person I see drinking a tango, I'm tangoing them. They're getting tangoed. Hopefully I don't get beaten up. I'll let you know how it goes.
The company quickly pulled the commercial from television, but removing it wasn't enough. They still had to clean up the mess. Tango's team scrambled to recover. They still needed to advertise their drink, but they couldn't risk another scandal. So they made 2 new versions of the ad. In one, the orange man placed his hand on the Tango drinker's mouth and kissed it. In the other, the drinker saw the orange man coming and ran away. The team believed
this is another bad idea. Shit, like, they're not really smart, are they? Okay, so they've really sat around in a board meeting and gone, right, so people are going into surgery because they're being slapped and beaten up. And then someone's gone, oh, I know, but we've already done assault, so let's just do sexual assault now and make everyone kiss each other with no consent. Like, what? Like, bro, who were thinking of these adverts?
these safer versions would work just as well, but the public felt differently. The new ads didn't have the same impact. The original commercial, however, became legendary. People still remember it today. In the year 2000, the Orange Man ad ranked number 3.
Oh my god, is that why the quote is "it takes two to tango"? Because people was going around kissing everyone and it was like, no. And then they came out with another advert saying, to tango, it takes two, get consent. Is that why? It takes two to tango, is that why? Oh, that's not why. Oh.
In Britain's list of the 100 greatest TV ads of all time. This next ad was supposed to inspire people, but it disgusted them. The ad, too insensitive for TV. In 2000.
Oh wait, yeah, tango is a dance. Yeah, that's what I assumed it was, but I thought it might have been something else.
2. Microsoft was preparing to launch the Xbox across Europe, but there was one major roadblock. At the time, PlayStation dominated the gaming world. To compete, Xbox needed a commercial that would shake things up, something that would make gamers take notice. Their team came up with an inspirational tagline: "Life is short, play more." It felt perfect. They even set aside about $50 million for the European launch, but when they turned that tagline into a commercial, it went terribly wrong. The ad was so controversial that even people who weren't gamers wanted it banned. The commercial opened in a hospital delivery room. A woman was in labor surrounded by doctors. She gave one final push, and the baby shot out of her belly like a missile. It smashed through the window and flew across the sky. Then something unusual happened. The baby started aging as it soared through the air. He became a child, then a teenager, then an adult. There were close-up shots of his thinning hair and aging teeth. Through it all, he kept screaming. Finally, he crash-landed into a grave. Then the tagline appeared: "Life is short, play more." It was clearly dark humor, a visual metaphor showing how quickly life passes. But when the ad aired, viewers weren't inspired, they were disgusted. The problem was simple. People didn't like the idea of using death to sell video games. Authorities in the UK received more than 100 complaints. One was from a grieving mother who recently lost her baby. After weeks of backlash, the authorities ruled that the ad could not be broadcast on British television unless the ending was changed. Microsoft refused. They insisted that the message was positive. Life is short, so make the most of it. Rather than change the commercial, they pulled it from television completely. It never aired again. Still, Xbox.
Yeah, I don't think that advert is that kind of bad. Like, I understand it can be bad depending on like your situation. Like, she lost a baby, you probably don't want to see a baby flying out a window, right? Like, it's very creative and dark humor, and yeah, like if you think about advert, like this advert kind of works as in like you're not gonna forget it really. Like a baby flying out of a window and aging into a grave, like you're not gonna forget that, right? Adverts nowadays are so like I can't even think of one advert I've seen in the past couple of years, because like when I see them, I don't watch them. They're not interesting, and they definitely do not capture my like attention at all. But maybe if there was a flying baby flying through the sky, then that might capture my attention. I don't know.
Didn't step away from edgy marketing. In the years that followed, their marketing team kept making controversial ads. This next ad was so bad, people have been talking about it for 40 years.
40 years!
The ad that terrified a generation. In 1978, a new horror movie was about to hit.
Okay, yeah, no, this is the worst ad of all time. This is the worst one. This is the worst one.
Theaters. It was titled Magic. Like every film, it needed a trailer to build hype. And since it was a horror movie, the team wanted it to be scary. very scary.
Oh,
but they went
fuck.
further than anyone expected. Magic was a psychological horror film. It was about a struggling magician named Corky. His career was collapsing and he was desperate for something new. So he added a ventriloquist dummy named Fats into his routine.
Okay.
It worked. After adding the dummy, Corky became a success. But soon he sensed something was wrong. The dummy wasn't just a prop. He seemed alive. And
Oh my
worse,
god, oh my god, oh my god. I hate this advert already. I fucking hate this advert already.
he was evil. In short, as the story unfolded, Corky slowly lost his grip on reality. For the movie trailer, the marketing team came up with a minimalist idea. No special effects or action scenes, just the evil dummy staring straight into the camera. That would turn out to be a very bad idea. The trailer lasted only 30 seconds. It began with the dummy emerging from the darkness. It had lifelike eyes and a devilish grin. The camera zoomed in while he recited a poem. The dummy's eyes snapped shut. Then, just before the commercial ended, they popped open again. Then the screen cut to black. The trailer was meant to get people excited for the movie, but it had the opposite effect. People didn't even want to see the trailer. TV stations received complaint after complaint. Parents said the dummy was giving their kids nightmares. Others claimed their...
Well, isn't that working then? Wait, I'm confused. It's a trailer for a horror movie. So isn't it doing its job of being scary? Like, it's doing its job, right? That I don't like it, but I don't like horror. I hate horror. Like, if I see that, I'm turning it off instantly and I'm having a nightmare. But I don't like horror.
Kids ran out of the room whenever it came on. One viewer said the poem got stuck in their head. It didn't help that the trailer had no storyline. It was just a puppet staring straight at the viewer as if it were mad at the viewer.
But it was on network TV. Yeah, I shouldn't give. Yeah, I suppose it's a bit different when it's like a trailer you search for and a trailer that's forced on you, right? Maybe a bit of a warning. Kids, close your eyes.
For children, that was too much. By late 1978, the backlash was impossible to ignore. Television networks banned the Magic trailer. They said they were protecting younger viewers from more sleepless nights. After the ban, the studio released a new trailer for the movie. This time it opened with a message. This special preview has been approved for all audiences.
Right.
The first trailer didn't have that, so it was clearly meant to reassure everyone that this version was safe. Then it began.
When your heart begins to pound, when your mind begins to go, keep telling yourself, it's only a movie.
This time, the dummy appeared for just a few seconds. The rest of the trailer showed scenes from the actual film.
You do magic too?
Corky does magic.
Still creepy.
It was spooky, but not horrifying for the people at the time. When Magic premiered, reviews said the movie wasn't nearly as scary as the trailer. One critic wrote, "There's nothing in the film nearly as terrifying as Fat's grin," and
Yo, that's actually crazy, bro. Wait, you're getting reviews of people saying that the trailer's more scary than the movie. So what they should have done really is just done that trailer for 1 hour, 30 minutes and had that as the whole movie.
that creepy little rhyme. More than 40 years have passed since that original trailer, and people still talk about it. Today you can find it on YouTube, and comments are filled with adults who still remember being terrified as children. Some even call it the scariest movie trailer of all time. This next ad got into trouble for being a little too realistic. The ad, "The Corrupted Young Mind." In 2000,
W game. Remember playing that game? That was a good game. That was a good game.
there was gunfire, screams, and sirens. Kane and Lynch didn't hold back. They took down anyone who stood in their way. It was 30 seconds of non-stop violence. The creative team...
Hey, that's the kind of game that's gonna make me buy it, though. Like, I'm gonna see that trailer. I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm getting this game.
Thought they nailed it. But once the ad aired in the UK, the public reaction was a disaster. The commercial ran on just a few British networks. Within hours, viewers were calling the TV stations to complain. Almost everyone said that the violence looked too graphic. They pointed out
Looks too graphic.
Commercial ran on just a few British networks. Within hours, viewers were calling the TV stations to complain. Almost every
Look, I'm not being funny, mate, but you don't look at that and go, Jesus, it looks like I'm watching daytime TV. How is that graphical? Mate, he's got fucking straight lines for a head. How is that graphical?
Everyone said that the violence looked too graphic. They pointed out scenes where characters were getting hurt. One close-up even showed a person's bruised face. Even the sound effects were an issue. There was a sickening crunch sound when one character was hit with a rifle. For many viewers, it was simply...
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Yo, I can't tell the difference between real life and this.
There was a sickening crunch sound when one character was hit with a rifle. For many...
Guys, is this real life? I can't tell. Is this a game or real life? Like, this is very graphical. I really do not like this. Like, what do you mean? What is a game, bro? It's a game trailer. What do you mean?
Many viewers, it was simply too disturbing. By the end of the week, UK authorities received 26 complaints.
Of course, it's the British people complaining about it.
That might not sound like much, but it was enough to ignite a national debate about how video games were corrupting young people. Even the TV stations that first aired the commercial apologized. The game studio tried to defend itself. They claimed the ad was misunderstood. Kane and Lynch was about two criminals trying to survive in a harsh world. The commercial was just showing that world. They argued that given the subject matter of the game, the TV ad was not overly violent. They also insisted the ad was made for adults, not kids. But regulators didn't buy it. They ruled that the commercial was too graphic and too shocking to be seen in any medium.
Jesus. What a whole load of pussies. What a bunch of pussies. Bro, it's a game from like you know, they've got square heads, mate. That's like Minecraft dropping a trailer of sword fighting in Minecraft and people like, this is too graphical. Like, bro, what? You can clearly see it's a game.
In plain English, it was too disturbing for TV. They also said it was likely to be seen as condoning and glorifying real...
Like, I'll totally understand if, like, the Human Centipede movie released a trailer of the actual Human Centipede scene, and that was labeled as too graphical for TV, for adverts. However, this is like, what you can clearly see it's a game.
Violence. The verdict was final. The Kane and Lynch ad was banned from British television. It was one of the first video game ads ever pulled for being too violent.
Of course,
up next is a commercial that people actually liked, but somehow it still got banned. The ad that was too crude. A company called Smart Beep thought they were finally getting their big break. They created a commercial that was set to air during the 1999 Super Bowl. The Super Bowl was arguably the biggest advertising event in the world. Millions of people watched every year. For brands, even 30 seconds.
Josie, thank you so much for the tier 1, Josie.
Seconds on screen could lead to massive profit, but the price was steep. Back then, a 30-second Super Bowl slot cost $1.6 million. Smart Beep was ready to pay it. They filmed their ad.
1.6 mil for 30-second ad. I need to start a new business. How do I make a new Super Bowl?
And prepared for their big
That's cheap
debut,
now.
But before it even aired, the commercial was banned. And it was all because of one bad joke. To understand why this ad even existed, you have to go back to the late 1990s. Back then, smartphones weren't common. Most people used pagers to stay connected. Here's how pagers worked. If you wanted to reach someone, you called their pager number. Your number appeared on a tiny screen on their pager. The person saw it, found a phone, and called you back. It was pretty simple. Smart Beep offered affordable pager plans. That was their business. To attract more customers, they decided to run a Super Bowl commercial. It was expensive, but if the ad landed, it could catapult their business.
So a pager is like, I would use my home telephone, call your pager, and it's like an alarm. So it's like, bing, 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 bing. This person just called you. You go to your home telephone and call them back. Is that what it is? It's like an alert system. It's like an alert system. It's like a notification, a portable notification. Right.
For the ad, they wanted a concept that was simple but funny, and they got an idea. The commercial began with a man picking up a woman for a blind date. He walked her to his car and opened the passenger door. He went around to the driver's side. Right before he got in, the woman let out a loud fart.
Yeah.
When he got in,
that's what they all do. That's what they all do. Don't even lie about it. Don't even lie. Because when you're first dating a woman, you never hear them fart, right? So it's got to come out somewhere. It's got to come out somewhere.
He smiled awkwardly and said,
You guys meet? Greg, Janice?
We sure did.
Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, that's kind of awkward. That is kind of awkward.
awkwardly and said,
You guys meet? Greg, Janice?
We sure did.
Then came the punchline.
That was stupid.
Great.
This is smart. A beeper service for just $1.99 a month.
The joke was simple. Farting on a blind date was stupid. Signing up for a cheap pager plan was smart. It was
Wait. I don't see a problem with that commercial. I think that commercial is actually kind of funny. What's the problem?
short, fast, and funny. Exactly what most Super Bowl ads try to be. Smart Beep submitted the commercial to Fox for approval. Fox was the network airing the Super Bowl that year. That meant they got to decide which commercials aired. But when Fox saw the blind date commercial, they were anything but impressed. Fox executives felt the fart joke was too crude, so they made a surprising decision. The commercial was banned from the Super Bowl. For Smart Beep, it was a huge blow. Their big break disappeared overnight. But the story didn't end there. The ad eventually leaked on.
What? They banned a commercial because of a fart? They banned a commercial because I don't believe it. There's got to be a different reason to it. They must hate the company. They must hate the company.
Blow. Their big break disappeared overnight, but the story didn't end there. The ad eventually leaked online, and when people finally saw it, they were shocked it was rejected. Viewers pointed out the same thing. In the 1990s, Fox aired shows like In Living Color, The Simpsons, and Married with Children. These shows were notorious for their crude humor. So why was a simple fart joke suddenly off limits? The commercial went viral online. Years later, some Reddit users even called it the greatest TV commercial ever. Unfortunately, going viral didn't save Smart Beep. In the 2000s, people switched from pagers to cell phones. With fewer customers, the company eventually shut down. Their banned commercial, however, lived on. And today, it's remembered as one of the funniest Super Bowl ads that never aired. This next case made history for all.
Bro, they got banned for a fart. They must have just hated the company for some weird reason. They must have,
all the wrong reasons. The ad that put viewers in the hospital.
Okay,
so
now
far,
we're
we've
talking.
covered ads that were disturbing, but this one didn't just upset people.
Crazy.
It did something few ads have ever done. It triggered seizures. The commercial was from a car company called Citroën. They were one of the biggest car manufacturers in France. In 2011, they were promoting a new model, the DS4. It was sleek, modern, and futuristic.
Wait, should I give a seizure warning then? Anyone with seizures, maybe don't watch if it gives you seizures, just in case.
A car designed to stand out. The marketing team leaned into that idea. The ad's theme was rebellion. Everyone else said yes to the ordinary. But if you drove the DS4, you weren't like everyone else. You stood out. It was a smart concept. The next step was to create a TV commercial. But what they created was a health hazard. The ad opened with a smooth voiceover.
It's easy to say yes.
Oh, well, I'm not surprised. That millisecond of that line is horrible. That hurts my eyes.
Can you work on Sunday? Yes, boss. Can you go shopping with me? Yes, darling.
After a moment, the voice asked,
How many yeses did you say?
That's
Yo, why is it going so fast? Was they all coked up making the advert? Is he sped up the advert or is it going that quick?
Things got intense. The word yes started flashing on screen non-stop, which we won't show. In total, it appeared 304 times in just a few seconds. After the burst of visuals, the voice returned.
But what if, just for once, you say no?
Wait, I need to see it. I need to see it. What is it called? What is the advert called? It was a car company. What was it called? What was the car company called?
Hazard, that's app. But if you into that was sleek, modern, and futurist. In 2011, they were promoting a new model.
Citrus DS4. Citrus DS4 ban commercial. Okay, I got it. I'm not gonna show it just in case. Like, I'm just gonna see it.
We are yes men. I'm a yes man, you're a yes man, we are all yes men. Can you work on Sunday? Yes, boss. Can you execute order? Yes, sir. Can you go shopping with me? Yes, 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 of course.
Oh.
Let's repeat together. I am
It
a
actually
yes
does
man.
hurt your eyes.
Yes. What do you want? Love, money, power? How many yeses did you say? 5, 6, 10,000? Yes, you are the perfect yes man.
Jesus!
Move your head up and down, up and in your life. All you do is say yes. But have you ever tried to say no?
Okay, that is just a car. Okay, yeah, that yes thing was like, there was a lot on Rapid. Holy.
The DS4. It was sleek, modern, and futuristic. A car designed to stand out. The marketing team leaned into that idea. The ad's theme was rebellion. Everyone else said yes to the ordinary. But if you drove the DS4, you weren't like everyone else. You stood out. It was a smart.
How about from 1 to 10? Well, I don't know. I assume if you have seizures, like, I can see why it would trigger it, because it's just like, it's just a lot of just like very quick flashing. It's basically 300 yeses in like a few seconds. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot of flashing.
Concept. The next step was to create a TV commercial, but what they created was a health hazard. The ad opened with a smooth voiceover.
It's easy to say yes. Can you work on Sunday? Yes, boss. Can you go shopping with me? Yes, darling.
After a moment, the voice asked,
how many yeses did you say?
That's when things got intense.
Yeah, then after this part right here, it just flashes so many yeses.
The word yes started flashing on screen non-stop, which we won't show. In total, it appeared 304 times in just a few seconds. After the burst of visuals, the voice returned.
But what if, just for once, you say no?
The camera cut to the DS4 gliding along a road.
Why conform?
The message was simple. Most people say yes to normal, but DS4 drivers don't. The flashing yes sequence was only a tiny part of the ad, but it was about to ruin everything. Trouble began the moment that...
Well, yeah, I totally get that, because like, if you've got something in any form of media with no warnings, they can trigger seizures, then yeah, that shouldn't be a thing. Like, if there's something that's going to be flashing that many times, you're gonna need a warning, mate.
Ad aired in the UK. Within hours, stations received complaints. Viewers said the flashing made them dizzy and disoriented. Then the most serious reports came in. Several viewers said the ad triggered epileptic seizures. The condition is called photosensitive epilepsy. It's a disorder where rapid flashing images can cause seizures. That meant a car commercial was now a real health hazard. Citroën quickly issued a statement. They admitted the situation was serious, but insisted it wasn't their fault. They explained that the commercial passed every required safety test.
Obviously
one of those
not.
tests was designed to detect flashing patterns that could trigger seizures. It was called the Harding Flash and Pattern Analyzer test. The ad passed that test too.
Well, I'm not being funny. I don't have epilepsy and I don't have triggered seizures yet. And I just watched that advert and that hurt my eyes. So if I imagine that I did have that, I probably would be triggered. Do you know what I mean? That was hurting my eyes so much.
So technically everything was safe. If that was true, what went wrong? Authorities launched a full investigation. They retested the DS4 commercial using advanced tools. This time, the ad failed every test. That revealed a much bigger issue. The old safety checks weren't accurate enough. Regulators took action. They updated the standard safety tests, making them stricter and more precise. But for Citroën, it was too late. The ad was officially banned in the UK. The ruling was clear. The ad must not appear again in its current form. At least something positive came out of the chaos. Citroën's mistake helped make advertising safer for everyone. Shock value sells for a second, but trust, that takes years to build and seconds to destroy.
True.
So before you do something just to stand out, ask yourself, how will people remember you? Visual Venture.
Jeez, interesting video though. Some interesting commercials right there.